Hey, it's Liz D'Alto, and this is the Untamed the Wild Soul Woman podcast. From body image, sex, spirituality, money and relationships, to motherhood, creativity, business, communication, and desire, Untamed the Wild Soul Woman is the place to come for real stories and powerful advice to help you reclaim and redefine womanhood in the 21st century. Elizabeth D'Alto here, your host for the Untamed the Wild Soul podcast, coming to you with another installment of our newest segment, which is called The Conscious Rant. And what I will be ranting about today is, what does it mean to be in your power? You know, this is something that women ask about a lot. So there's not one specific question related to it that came in from the community. But I noticed this is a struggle. I noticed this is something there's a lot of dialogue around in the self-help and spirituality communities. This is something that people toss out. This is one of those things. Here's why it's categorized as a rant. Because it really irritates me when people just toss out, oh, stand in your power or just be in your power. But A, what the hell does it mean? B, how the hell do you do it? So a couple notes I made of things to cover to help you be clear in this and maybe be able to take some action towards it is understanding the difference between empowering and disempowering. How does all of this relate to alignment? How does it relate to our choices? Are we reacting or are we acting based on whether or not we're in our power? And also, where is our validation? Where does our validation come from? So here's the thing. I've had some amazing interviews lately. Some of you have probably already listened to the episode with Allison Armstrong. And during that episode, when her and I talk about the relationship between emasculation and objectification in men and women and how we do both to both sexes, regardless of how people gender identify, she said something really amazing that can really help us understand better what it means to be in your power, what it means to give away your power, or what it means to take your power back. And it starts with understanding when you're not in your power, what's disempowering. So here's what happens. When someone feels like they are not in their power, when someone feels disempowered, we get into this place where we will do whatever it takes to get to a place of feeling back in our power. And often that means taking a look around us and seeing where we can get power from. So when we don't feel like we are empowered, we will try to take it from other places. We will source the power from outside of ourselves to try to fill up. And so when you are in a relationship with someone, whether it's personal, professional, family, whatever it is, and you feel like you're giving your power to that person, it could be because that person feels disempowered and they are trying to take yours, right? And so it's this interesting thing where we want to say, but I can't give my power away, or no one can take anything away from me. But in this dynamic here, it takes two to tango. And so if you have any unconscious commitment to being a people pleaser or to making sure everyone else's needs are met before your own, you will give away your power to the person who's trying to take it from you for whatever reason. So to be able to notice in your life, who are the people, and I love this saying, I don't know where it originally comes from. I learned it from my coach, Jesse, last year. You've probably heard me use it on the show before, but some people or some situations feel like batteries. They charge you up. You feel empowered. You feel grounded. You feel energized with those people or in those situations or environments or circumstances. And then some people are black holes. You feel drained around them, okay? So this is a good place to notice what drains you and what lights you up, what takes your energy or what do you give your energy to, and what feels like a power source, what feeds you, feels like a battery, but not from a place of taking, just by being in the energy. Because when we come into a place, and this is a good way to notice when you're not in your power, when you are not making choices, when you're not just acting, putting one foot in front of the other, moving your feet while you pray, all the different ways that we describe, just making choices day by day and taking actions day by day that are either inspired or feel aligned for you. When you're not acting that way, you might be reacting. So notice with certain people, right? So once you identify who are the people or the circumstances or the situations that make you feel drained, then you can take a look at within those relationships, within those situations or circumstances, where do you find yourself not acting, not being proactive, but being reactive? and what are the things that you're reacting to. There's a lot of information for you in those places, spaces, and relationships, because the things that you're reacting to, by nature of reacting, you're giving some power away there, right? You're not standing on your own, in your power, feeling grounded, which often results in some magnetism, where things get to arrive and come in with greater ease. I'm not saying you don't have to take any action, but the action you're taking almost feels more like effortless, right? So there's a lot of things that happen in my business and in my relationships these days that feel effortless. They are not effortless. A lot of effort was put in to build the foundation and to be grounded and to be magnetic in the places where it feels like things are just coming in and I barely have to do anything for it. And then where do you feel like you have to like really, really force things or really manipulate or control a situation? That is not being in your power. That's giving your power away to something. And so the specifics of how to unwind and rebuild those relationships or circumstances or whatever it is, that is deep work. That's the kind of work that we do at Untame Yourself Weekends. That's the type of work that I do in my mentorship. That's the type of work that I will be leading my teacher trainees in Wild Soul Movement to be able to facilitate and to be able to do with other people. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, you can go to untameyourself.com/offerings, and you'll find information there for the Wild Soul Movement virtual program, to apply for a retreat weekend, to apply for the mentorship or anything else that I might have going on. And teacher training is coming soon. It's coming later in June and early July. So there's deep work there. I'm not saying it's this overnight switch thing. It does require some effort, and it's super, super, super worth the effort to build the foundation and have the mental, emotional, and spiritual structures in place so that you're really aware and conscious of where are the places where you're most likely to give your power away, how you can take it back to yourself with a lot of love and care and compassion and attention for yourself and anyone else involved. And then you can move forward, because this then feeds into the conversation of where is our validation coming from? Are we validating ourselves by the roles that we play? And this is something Nancy Levin and I talk about in her upcoming interview in a couple of weeks. Are you being validated by being a mom, by being whatever is your job title, however much money you make, by being in a relationship or not being in a relationship, by being independent, all these external ways that we validate ourselves rather than being connected to our inherent worthiness, to our inherent power source, our connection to the divine, which in a lot of ways that is the source, depending on what you believe in. I do believe that. I feel in my power when I feel like I have a direct line to my connection with the divine, and I could be getting my own inner guidance, and I could be getting my own answers. I'm not seeking outside of myself. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? Do you think I should do that? And getting other people to tell me what I should be doing or what I'm supposed to be doing, right? This also involves unraveling all of that programming and conditioning. Words like should and supposed to are really good indicators that you're giving your power away to something or someone. So how do you know when you're in your power? Words that come up for me are feelings of faith and trust and calm and peace and groundedness, right? When you're grounded in your power, that there's magnetism that comes with that, because things are drawn towards that, right? So other things on this topic, lots of times it's the people closest to us that we're giving our power away to because of whatever unconscious agreements we have with those people, whatever roles we've decided, I'll play this role, you play that role. Maybe it's I'll be the victim, you'll be the oppressor. And that could be in a romantic relationship. That could be between parent and child. That can be, all kinds of relationships, employee, boss, whatever. This also rears its head in the realm of social media and the way things are now. So notice how you feel when you look at Facebook. If you're comparing yourself to someone, you're giving that person your power. You're putting someone else on a pedestal. You're making them better than you. Judgment is a form of disempowerment, right? Because you, in a lot of ways, are projecting your power onto someone else, or making yourself better than them. Like all these valuations that we create. There's a lot of giving away your power or taking someone else's power wrapped up in that. So the ultimate goal, I believe, and the ultimate expression of being in your power is being sourced from within. I technically don't need validation from anyone or anything, right? And I'm not saying, I just want to be clear on what you don't need. I'm not saying you don't have any needs at all, right? This isn't about I'll take care of everything myself. In a lot of ways, that's disempowering because we're blocking off the help and support that's available to us. But, the accumulation of everything I've shared in this episode so far, being able to notice, where are those points of contention? What are you reacting to versus taking action that feels aligned for you, making choices that feel authentic to who you are, not based on what you think you should be doing or what you're supposed to be doing. And so just like one last thing that I learned last year, and this is just like an easy energetic practice, which is you can call your power back to you, right? I learned this from a healer I was working with. You can just say, I call all of my power back to me now. I am whole and complete. That's one way to do it. You can use your arms. You can literally make a motion. For those of you who are listening, not watching, make a motion like you're gathering up your power from all the places and spaces around you and pulling it back into your heart center or pulling it back into your body. I am whole and complete. That's one way to do it. And then for those of you who have listened to my episode with Siobhan, my coach, lots of times the best first thing to do is to cut cords from the people and the things that you're giving your power away to, and then ground back into your body. So we'll put that episode in the show notes. We gave some grounding practices and some cord cutting practice in that episode with Siobhan Moran. And so I think it was episode number 91, but we'll put the right episode in the show notes. And so this was a riff. This was a riff on, all the ways that we give away our power, some ways you can bring it back, some ways that you can notice for yourself who are the people or the situations that you find yourself in or interacting with where you're more likely to give your power away, or noticing who is feeling disempowered and therefore trying to source some of their power from you. So this should all be really useful. Don't let any of it overwhelm you. Pick one point, start there as always. If you have clarification questions, if you want to go deeper on this, pop on into the Facebook group, untameyourself.com/Facebook. And I just want to remind anyone, if you listen to this show and you really love it, you get a lot out of the episodes, feel free to share it with your friends. I love hearing from people, I have 3 girlfriends that need to hear this particular one. If you know someone that's having trouble right now being in their power or giving their power away, send them a little love note and say, hey, I'm with you. I support you. Here's a great resource. Send them the podcast episode. And if you appreciated this, if you want more where this came from, you can always send us a message at hello@wildsoulmovement.com to ask your own questions for future episodes. And that's it. I'm here to help, here to serve. Love, love, love diving into these topics with you. They're super, super important. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Everything is a recipe. We're almost, just like I was at an art exhibit last night, and they're like, everyone's an artist here. And then there were also people that were putting out food. I said, even the person that's making the food is an artist. And even they were like, you're right. And I'm like, yeah, because art is food is art is food. Mm-hmm. And what we do as entrepreneurs, we create art as a mother, as a father. We're artists and actually creating and molding the minds of our children. We are artists of our own lives. So, why not with everything be able to, you can take perspectives from other people, but you're able to change a recipe.